and to those who are tuning in from YouTube, from Facebook, and from Energy Radio. Good afternoon to everyone. I pray that the peace of God will fill your heart. I pray that the peace of God will strengthen you. I pray that as the days goes by, that you become stronger spiritually, so you can encourage everyone around you and all those who we're going to become, you're going to become in contact. So before I want to go and share from the book of, let me just share with you. I want to share from the book of, let me see if I can share right now this hour. From the book of Luke. Let me just share from the book of Luke. Yes, Luke chapter 23, verse 27. And one more time, God bless you all. And it says, a very large crowd of people followed Jesus. A very large crowd of people followed Jesus. There were many women among them. They were crying with loud voices. Let's stop there for a second. The last thing you and I need is someone that instead of encouraging you, feel pity for you. The last thing you need is somebody to agree with your disappointment of life and say to you, oh, you are such a good person. People did you bad. Or you did not deserve to be deceived. Or you do not deserve to go through this. The last thing you need is somebody to agree with your misery or feel sorry for you. Well, I'm here to tell you another person. Another one who's going to tell you, oh, you're such a good person. You did not deserve this. Oh, I feel the same. So that's how life goes. That's how life is. Oh, there's nothing that you could do. Stop the nonsense. The last thing you and I need is somebody when you're going through a challenge and when you're going through a situation is to add more misery, more self-pity. You know, usually when someone wants self-pity, they find somebody who give it to them. And then they find three. And then and when they realize they have a multitude of self-pity people around them, not making a difference, but agreeing, oh yes, it hurts you. Oh, it hurts. Stop the nonsense. That never work, and we will never work. And if you are looking for me to do this, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because this is not going to change nothing for you. If you are walking around with a pity pat, don't come with me because I'm not going to agree with the nonsense. You know, life, there's a bunch of people life who goes around blaming others. Oh, he did me wrong. She didn't. Do you think you are the only one? For your surprise, you're not the only one. And if you find somebody who go along with the pity, now there's two people who will fall into the dish. When I go through a challenge, I need somebody who tell me, get up and fight. Get up and stop the nonsense and fight. Let's fight together. What will the last thing you need somebody to lay hands on you and say, get up and walk? The first thing you need somebody who say, I'm fasting for you, I'm praying for you, and drinking and bless this water for you so you could drink it 7 times a day in the name of Jesus. That's the person that you need. And you know, there are people who are looking to have a bunch of people around them. A bunch of people that in your challenges, in your trial, they can do nothing for you. I better have 1 or 2 or even nothing, because I encourage myself that to have a multitude of people around me but feel lonely. I know people like that. And I'm not talking about you if you think I'm talking about you. I know people who has a multitude around them. When I mean a multitude, most likely maybe you know people like that too. But they're all cowards. They're all cowards. Because when the time comes, instead of breaking down, these people don't know how to lay hands, to encourage somebody. You know, I know people who have a multiple, but they feel lonely. You know why? Because they surround themselves with people who are not a people of power, who are not people of courage. For the sake of having somebody around, they found people. But in the times of challenges, those are the first people who break down. I don't need nobody to break down for me. I need somebody to fast for me, to pray for me, to lay hands on me, to tell me, hey, you're not going yet. Get up and walk and kick me in the back. I need somebody to rub my wound and say, oh, you stay there. You find those people, you stay there with them. And unfortunately, there's a bunch of people around like that, looking for somebody, and they will find, because that's what you find the most. People who tell you, oh, yeah. Like I have a friend of mine who say, you know, and the mother and the father, they said to the son, and this, what? This is the person that you need next to you. This is the person that you want to surround yourself. Because all of us go through challenges and hard situations, difficulties. This is the person that you want next to you. You want somebody can encourage you. You want somebody that when the bad news come, that person say, it's what a man say. That's not what the Lord say. That's the type of person I want around me. And if I don't find it, I'm going to be that type of person. You know, life don't change by coincidence. Life don't change by mistake. Life change when we provoke that change. So don't expect for me to pity you. Take your pity pot and go to the neighbor. Because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you, get up and walk. I'm going to tell you, get up and jump. I'm going to tell you, shake it off. Because if you don't shake it off, it will take you out before you know it. I will tell you, get up from the bed, otherwise, you will never get up again. I will tell you that. That is the mindset that Jesus left and he passed to his disciples. And until today, there are certain people who have the mindset, not a mindset of self-pity. Self-pity. Ah, and then you find this one. They do. Oh yes, it's gonna be a what? Go away from me from that. I don't want that. When my time comes, I want somebody to tell me you gotta fight until the end. Get up, jump, scream. But don't sit down there and find people who cry with you. Because those are the one, even if they're hundreds, that will fall into the dish with you. You know, Jesus was carrying the cross, beaten down, bruised, bleeding. And there were those around him who were crying. You know what they were crying? Because they did not know the meaning. Jesus knew where he was coming from and when he was going. Jesus knew another to overcome the battle, the war, you have to go through it. Jesus knew that every mountaintop has a valley. And he knew that that pain was temporary. That's why he tells the people who cry for him, he said, look what he says. They were crying with a loud voices. You know, you find these people, they cry with, what? What? When I tell my children, get up, I'm not going to pick you up because one day I'm not going to be there. You have to get up yourself and dust yourself and keep going. Get up. I'm not going to pick you up. Get up. I'm not going to be around forever. I'm not going to be around forever. I don't want to make you a cripple. Because when you join the pity mindset, you are crippling somebody. And when you join people like that who agree with you, because they make you feel good when they say you are a good person, they did you wrong. You are a good person, everybody else is bad. They don't understand. When you find people like that, those are the worst people to find. And unfortunately, there are people who are like that, not because sometimes they are bad people, but because they don't know the truth. That's not the people that I want to go when I'm going through a challenge. That's not the people that, I know people who have multitude people around them, but at the midnight hour, they're lonely. Because I was there. They're lonely. Because they surround themselves with cowards. Cowards. You know, Jesus, they were crying to Jesus as I'm going to keep reading. They were weeping and crying. They were very sad. Jesus turned around and said to them, woman that live in Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Instead, cry for yourself and cry for your children. Cry for yourself who have rejected the message. Don't cry for me. I am in pain. I am going through, but this is temporary. But cry for yourself because you don't know where you're coming from and know where you're going. Cry for your children because he's telling those people because they have rejected the message. Cry for your children because when I came to give them the message, they chose something else. So don't cry for me. I don't want your pity. And don't want your, let me find another word that means the same pity. I don't want your what? Can somebody help me out? I don't want you to feel sorry for me. He said, woman who live in Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Instead, cry for your children. Cry for yourself and for your children. Listen. He said, listen with exclamation point. Listen. The days will come when people will say, it is better for those women who could not have babies. This woman have never had baby to feed and are the happy ones. You know why? Because if I have, those are the ones that's supposed to know the message. That's why he said, cry, you who have the, cry for them. Cry for them. Don't cry for me. Don't cry. Because time is going to come that he who don't embrace the message will be sorry. He who don't embrace the truth will be left alone. So cry for them, Jesus said. Don't cry for me. This pain is momentary. I don't want your pity. I don't want you to be sorry for me. And you know, that's the kind of people Jesus surround himself with. He called 12, and one was the devil. So the 11, that was the kind of people he surrounded himself. And you know, you could have a bunch of people around you. Are they people of faith that can lay hands and say you are healed in Jesus' name? Are the people that when you get a bad news can say, look, that's what men say. We have a creator. And he is above all and everything. You know, they were crying because they did not understand that in order for him to go down to the deepest place of the earth and take the key of life and death, he had to go through that. That was his mission. You know, I said to my wife sometime, there are certain experience and battle that we cannot fight for them. We have to equip them for them to fight, not try to fight them for them. So Jesus told these people and said, look, yes, of course, I have pain. Yes, of course, I'm fully persuaded that I'm fulfilling my purpose and that this is the beginning of greater things. Even for my children that will come after me, Jesus. Jesus knew that this pain was nothing compared to what was coming. And you know, when somebody have to understanding, and they said, you know, this is temporary. In order for me to overcome, I have to fight. In order for me to win the battle, I have to go through some wars, and some will be painful. But this is the way through a greater life. I cannot spend my whole life running away from pain, because this is not living. This is surviving. If I spend my whole life running away from pain and not living and surviving. So a lot of people, they spend their whole life running away from pain, avoiding the fight. That's not living, surviving. Because when we live, we say, I'm going to go through it. And with the power of the Creator, I'm going to come out. I'm going to overcome. You see, Jesus was mindful of that. That's why he did not allow the crying, the whipping of other people to stop him. Know that he wanted somebody to pity him or feel sorry for him because he was conscious of his purpose here. So if you surround, or if you maybe you are the person who likes somebody to come upon you, instead of somebody tell you get up, instead of somebody give you a word that is hard, that will lift you, you want somebody to agree with you. Well, I'm here to tell you that everyone who agree with you, if you are the person, they'll fall into the dish with you. Because what we need is somebody who tell you, I don't agree with you. You got to do something about it. You got to wake up before it's too late. That's what Jesus lived. That's what Jesus said. That's what Jesus was talking, speaking, living. That's what Jesus was living every day. That's why when the great fighter Gideon went to fight, God said to him, you have too many people around you, and most of them are cowards. Because what you need is people of faith, of courage, people who are not coward, but they're ready to fight against the forces of evil. When we have the mindset and our attitude, even if you go to the valley of shadow of death, you will fear no evil. And I pray that we embrace that mindset. Because some people may feel excited and say it's a good word, but the next day, that's it. Jesus said to all those women, don't cry for me. I'm not running away from the fight. I choose to go through this pain. I choose to suffer in this way. So don't cry for me. Cry for those who are lost, that you know them, who are running away from the fight and not running away and fulfilling. And this is the way to great things. So I pray that we catch this. That's why I don't worry about being surrounded. I check to see if I am that person. And if anyone around me are those. The rest, let them live in the pity pot the whole life. What are you going to do, my friend? Are you going to come out of the place? Or are you going to shake it off and embrace it through and fight? The good thing is that there's always an opportunity as long as we are having the bread of life, breathing, to fight, to change direction. Jesus said, don't cry for me. Don't cry. What, do you think I don't know what I'm going through? You don't think I'm conscious. I'm not here because somebody forced me. I choose to go through this because I know what is next. And I pray that we have that mindset. I pray if we don't have it, that we embrace it. I pray that if you are the person who likes to be pity, you find someone who say, if you are the person who, when somebody tells you the truth, you become defensive. But when somebody tell you, you're right, that person wants to fall into the dish with you. It's better the person say, you're wrong. Get up and fight. It's better to surround myself with a person who say you wrong. Let's move forward. And the one say you always right. Let's go down together. Nah. Jesus was clear. He says, don't cry for me. You think I'm here? You think I'm running away from the fight? I chose to be here. I had a choice and I chose to go to the pain because I know after that is goodness and mercy. I pray that even though you who are watching this video from online, that you yourself lift up and shake it off and rise to the occasion.